So if I'm going forward, my left leg goes forward, the other one follows it. If I'm in a stance right here, right, I want to be like leaning on my back foot a little bit, right, but not heavily. I explain the importance of a good stance. Creates good balance. Good balance will help you have good footwork, okay? That is absolutely essential. If you have good footwork and a good jab, you're gonna be a really good boxer if you master those two things. All right, morning everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you for joining me, really appreciate it. This video, we're gonna be talking about the philosophy behind footwork, right? Get you to basically understand the importance of it, how to think about footwork. And you know, I'm gonna bring in a few little demonstrations here and there, but this video isn't really gonna be that practical. I have made plenty of videos on, you know, maneuvering footwork and showing exactly how, where, when, and why. I'll leave the links up here, but this is actually a different type of video where I'm gonna explain to you, as I said, as a beginner, the importance of footwork and why you should use it, but from a different mindset, just to get you to understand what it does, because it is first or second most important thing in the sport, hands down. Now you could say keeping your hands up is the most important thing. I wouldn't argue with you unless you maybe have a style where it's heavy on the footwork and you need to use the footwork heavily, right? So philosophy, right? Philo means like love, right? And Sophy, which is breaking up the word, philosophy is knowledge, a skill, right? So I like to tie these videos in with a little bit of a theme. So the philosophy, obviously the wisdom, and you know how the values of footwork, you know, the philosophy is a big study in moral values as well as a lot of other, it's a very deep subject, but footwork is actually a very deep subject as well, but it's also very basic in the sense that, let me just show you right now, if you're just new to footwork, right? If I'm going left, I'm going to use my left foot. First of all, before you do anything, actually, you need to get a good stance, right? This is crucial. And I've made videos, and you know, every single video I explain the importance of a good stance. Creates good balance. Good balance will help you have good footwork, okay? That is absolutely essential for you to do that and understand that having a good stance to start off with is imperative. So if I'm going forward, my left leg goes forward, the other one follows it. If I'm going right, my right leg goes right, the other one follows it. If I'm going back, the back leg goes back, the other one follows it. Left, left, forward, forward, right, right, back, back. And that's basically as pure and simple as you can get it from a beginner standpoint. Yeah, there's a lot more other moves that come into play that you need to worry about eventually, but just for now, as a beginner, get that down, understand that. And I made a video about a box step, which is where you can step, punch, step, punch, step, punch, step, punch, because connecting your feet with your hands is another one of the most important things you can do. And using the ground, you know, I always talk about the ground as being your friend. Basically, you should look at it as like a tool for you, because without the ground, your feet are basically completely inadequate, right? You need the ground to maneuver, you need the ground to basically sit down on. If I'm coming in and I want to throw a hard shot, I'm biting down on the ground to push back up. If I'm moving around here trying to jab off my back foot, I can't do it without the back foot hitting the ground at the same time, roughly the same time as my hand jabbing or punching. You need the ground like you wouldn't believe. So just understand that, have a good relationship with the ground, have a good understanding that footwork is your first line of defense. Footwork is your first line of defense. You know, apologies about the light, it's really early here. I try to get an early space so I can, you know, use the space before people pack it out, but I'm kind of stuck in this baseball court right here, baseball pitch, excuse me. But it's your first line of defense. Okay, so if someone's charging you, just step back, you can move circles, come around like this, right? That is the first thing you need to do. Really, you want to think about footwork as defense, right? Yes, you need it for offense. You need to put yourself in position. You need to be able to maneuver your opponent where you want them to. You need to have your foot positioned in the right place so you can strike, get your shots off. But ultimately, footwork is definitely for defense, yeah? And it's the combining the different feet, it's combining the different moves of footwork, whether it be pivot, whether it be stepping, whether it be side shuffling. And there's a ton more that you don't need to know right now as a beginner, but once you put them all together and as the channel develops, I'll definitely bring those in. If you guys are calling for it, I'll definitely help you out with all the terms, and you know, from shuffling, which is not lifting your foot off, you're just shuffling back to kind of escape quickly, right? As I said, from pivoting, step pivoting, shifting, which that might, like Mike Tyson, boom, boom, you know, where he shifts and gets an angle quick, you know, I guess plyometrics to a degree, where you're using the spring really quickly. You know, there's like obviously that Eastern European footwork. You got the rhythm in the US. You want to kind of be heavily on your back foot, right? Then you got that rhythm, right? I said heavily, that's not true. If I'm in a stance right here, right, I want to be like leaning on my back foot a little bit, right? But not heavily, just maybe 60% roughly. And then swinging back and forth, I can bounce a little bit like this. And then when I'm ready to strike, I can come forward like that, and the transfer of weight occurs there. But you know, typically, if you're just boxing around like this, using your feet, you want to be, you know, obviously in a good stance, but having a slight majority of weight on your back foot, right? It's very important. Yeah, the connection your feet has with the ground, right? Constantly, you know, when you're using footwork, you don't want to step too wide, right? I don't want to be stepping like this and stepping like this. I see beginners make these kind of mistakes all the time. Or if I'm crossing over, I don't want to cross under like that. Another big mistake, you're going to lose your balance. And footwork relies on balance for you to defend yourself and for you to be offensive as well, right? So when you're moving around, if I'm moving, stepping, I want to be in the same place really as I was, in the sense, the same stance here as I was here, as I was here, as I am here. Bam, 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 boom, boom, right? Pivot. This is maintaining a good balance, maintaining good stance, crucial. So yeah, I would certainly make getting good at footwork a priority. Shadow box as much as you can, daily, multiple rounds, working on your balance, working on your foot connection with the ground, working on not making any mistakes, yeah? Just keep it moving. You can work on the pivots if you need to. Keep it nice and tidy, bang, bang, all right? Use the ground, understand that that is your friend. Keeping your balance, relaxing. You know, a lot of these things might sound a little difficult to do all together, but you're gonna get better and better the more you practice, obviously. But shadow boxing, you know, get to doing that, you know, because the fundamentals, footwork, a jab, maybe a good 1-2, keeping your hands up, those things are, if you have good footwork and a good jab, you're going to be a really good boxer if you master those two things. So, philosophy of footwork. Understand the power of footwork, understand the importance of it, understand what it does. Mainly defense, but yes, of course, offense, connecting your feet with the ground, you know, using it as leverage, using it as the bite, right? If I'm here, I'm pushing off, I'm literally using, let me try to get a better shot actually. If I'm coming in here, I'm boom. I'm literally biting down, bang, if I want to get a powerful shot. Yeah, I'll try and get some better lighting next time when I'm in the other area, because I really wanted to show you guys and highlight the importance of the ground and the relationship, you know. Even if I'm just shooting a right hand here, a lot of the power, much of the power comes from the legs, comes from the ground up, the transfer of weight, the kinetic chain, boom, right? But you can't do that without good balance, right? If I'm down here, there's no way I can get anywhere near the amount of power. If I'm like this, not really, you're relying on your arms. So right here, again, back to a good stance, nice and relaxed, bam, bam, boom. The travel through, kinetic chain, yeah, think of that, it's like scientific. I'm gonna get a bit scientific on you. The Newton's cradle, those balls that travel through are harnessing energy through your body, right? A little high tech for beginners, but at the same time, it comes back to balance. It comes back to a good stance and having good footwork. Boom, boom. But anyway, that's it today. You know, next time I said I'll have the other place, I'm gonna put more daily videos like this where I'm just rambling, talking to you. Less practical stuff, but also a lot of good information in there as well. And as I said, I'm always grateful for you guys tuning in. That is it from me. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Be the best you can possibly be. Boxing on the Edge. If you enjoyed the video, smash a like. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. We've got loads of content on the way for beginners specifically, and a higher level of punching. So anyway, gratitude.